What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next I have had a number of boxes, packages of comics and everything come in, and I just haven't had time to open them, so I thought I would do them all in one big unboxing video here. You saw a few of them in the thumbnail. I've got a stack of books right here. There's the one you saw in the thumbnail. We'll talk about that book. And then I've got this box here that has, I think, another 3 or 4 slabs in it. So a bunch of stuff, cool books. Let's get into these. All right, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So, like I said, I had a bunch of packages that have come in. I just hadn't had time to do videos for them. So I thought I would just knock them all out at once and just go over all these books at once, a big unboxing video. There is a lot of value in books here. I don't know, maybe like 15,000 or something like that. So a lot of books, some really cool stuff, and some big ones like you saw just in the preview and in that thumbnail. Before we get into these, I want to thank everybody that likes and subscribes and comments on these videos. I did the drawing for the last giveaway, and so that book is going to be sent out, so throw the comment up here. Thanks for commenting, and hope you enjoy the book. That was that Nocterra #1 that I got back, that got a 9.8 that I had submitted through the comic book presser, so yeah, enjoy that book. Now, let's get into these. I'll start out with that. I mean, we showed us right off the top. I'll start out with this one right here. This was a group of books, actually in a few different purchases that I picked up from Superworld Comics on Instagram. The first one here is Hulk #181, first full appearance of Wolverine, the book that everybody actually wants. People talk about his first appearance in Hulk 180 on the last page, but everybody wants this book because he is on the cover. And it's a really solid copy of this book. There's definitely some wear to it. There's a little piece out of the corner up here. There is some spine wear. There's a little bit of creasing, and I can't remember. I think there might have been a little foxing on the back or something like that. But the Marvel value stamp is there, and the colors on this one are great. This is one of these books that you can have a lot of variation on the depth of red on this orange on the cover, and this one has a really solid red to it. So actually, I'll show this one real quick, just because one of those things you always need to check with this book is that Marvel value stamp. So here we can see it outside of the bag here. See a really solid presenting copy. It's just, there's some spine wear, and that's really the thing that knocks it down. And then, yeah, the back, there's really not anything to write home about on the back. Back is real nice. Now the Marvel value stamp is in the latter half of the book. Let me find it real quick, and then I can show you where that's at. So this is the Marvel value stamp right here, that Shauna the She-Devil. That's what you should see in this book. It's what is often cut out, or it's that page that's completely removed. So you will oftentimes see that the Marvel value stamp is missing, and so CGC typically will give it a green label. And now, I've had a lot of people ask about green labels before, and so at least the way that I've seen it, how it seems to work, is that the highest grade I think I've ever seen with one of these as a blue label that's missing the Marvel value stamp, I think was a 2.5. I don't think I've ever seen a 3. Maybe there's been a 3, but I think a 2.5. Now, for the green labels, and if you're not familiar with green labels, that means it's a qualified book. It means they're ignoring some flaw in the book and giving it the grade like that flaw wasn't there. And oftentimes that flaw that's ignored on this book is the Marvel value stamp has been cut out. Now, the general rule of thumb that I've seen has been that if the book presents 2 grades higher than what it would have gotten as a blue label, then they will give it the qualified label. So say it would have gotten a 2.0 with the Marvel value stamp cut out. If it presents like a 5.0, you're gonna get a green label. It presents like a 4.0, you're gonna get a green label. But if it presents like a 3.5, they're gonna give you the blue label. So that's just what I've seen. I don't know if that's always true or not, but that seems like the general rule of thumb that I see. It's 2 grades or higher above, then they'll give you the green label. If it's below that, they'll give you the blue. But yeah, Hulk #181, first full appearance of Wolverine, and his first cover appearance, and the book, of course, that everybody wants for that character. A lot of people tried to push 180 during the comic boom, and it spiked a lot, and it crashed a lot when people realized that is not really the book that most people wanted. All right, next book here, jumping all the way back to the Golden Age. I've had this book one other time before. This is Catman #29. Really cool LB Cole cover where you've got Catman and Kitten on the cover there. Just a lot of detail. This is one of the, there are a number of covers in the Catman run that are done by L.B. Cole where he puts a lot of detail into them. Sometimes I feel like the bright colors and everything that he's known for overwhelms some of the detail, but I mean, not this one. This one looks really sharp. All the different, you know, types of cats. You got the tigers and the leopards on there and everything, and the lion on the top. Just a lot of great detail on this one, and pretty solid presenting copy. I can't remember what I thought it might be. Maybe around a 5, 4.5 to a 5, but it's a nice copy. It's just there's some spine wear. That's really what's going to hurt it. But yeah, I am probably going to be getting this one graded. This is a pretty expensive book, and so I think this is probably worthwhile to get graded. But yeah, Catman number 29, L.B. Cole cover. All right, now yeah, and 28 is one of my keeper books. That's one of my favorite books that I have. Then we have this one, Patsy Walker number 22. The main reason I picked this one up is just that it is a pretty nice copy. You'll actually see that this book, there are a pretty large number of copies available on eBay. There are quite a few for sale, but they are all very beat up. This one is a very solid presenting copy. There's some wear down along, I don't know if it'll catch it through the Mylar. There's definitely some wear down here, but I think it will press out pretty well. There's a little bit of like dirt and that kind of thing on the cover, but overall a very bright and clean copy. And so I think it has a chance at maybe something like a 7, maybe a 7.5. We'll see. But yeah, I just thought it was a really nice copy. And so I was thinking of getting this one graded just because it was so nice for this issue. I think the highest graded copy is like an 8.0 or something like that. I mean, these books often are very, very tough to get in that type of high grade. This is a timely, but it has these cool, these early Marvel Comics emblems on them. And so those are always fun to see because you don't see that Marvel comic emblem very often. But yeah, Patsy Walker number 22. Then this next one, this is an awesome book. I was glad to be able to pick this one up. I have never owned this before. This is Airboy number 8, volume 4. This is another one of those runs where they have kind of a weird numbering scheme. But just a crazy, like, good girl art bondage type cover where you've got her tied to the propeller of this plane, and things are not going to go so well if Airboy is tricked into starting up this engine. But a very solid presenting copy. This is a really nice copy. The main flaw on this book is this top staple. There is some rust on this top staple. It actually doesn't migrate into the pages on the interior. I was worried that it might, so I had asked for some extra pictures just because of how it looks up here. But the rust really isn't that bad on it, so I was pretty happy with that. There's a little bit of surface rust on the bottom one, but overall, I mean, this, I don't want to handle this one too much, but this one I'm definitely going to get graded, and you can kind of see like how nice this copy is. I mean, this is a really, really clean copy of this book. So definitely one that I am looking forward to getting graded to see what it comes back as. My experience has been that staple rust doesn't seem to hurt the grade quite as bad as a lot of people think it will. And so we'll see how it does. And I just want to be careful how I get this thing back in here. I hate these. I hate these open Mylar loaders, these things. I can't stand these things. I like the normal ones, but I don't have any right now. I needed to order some more, and so this is what they're shipped in. And a lot of people use these, but I can't stand them. I've actually cut one of my books before with these, where I put it back down in, and these like top edges are real sharp, and it sliced the side of one of my books. I was so mad. So yeah, I can't stand this type of loader, and I get them out of them as soon as I can, as long as I have the right size bags and boards for them, and I just didn't happen to have it with this. But yeah, Airboy number 8, volume 4, just a crazy good girl art bondage type cover and in very nice condition. All right, next one I picked up on Instagram in a claim sale. I've never owned this book before either. This is Evil Ernie number 1. And you've also got, it's in one of these clear backing boards, you see the back there as well. And this is the first appearance of Evil Ernie. It is also the first appearance of Lady Death. That is the reason that this is a more popular book. Lady Death is a very popular character now because of all the covers that are done for her. But and kind of show you where her first appearance is in here. It's in like one of the first few pages of this.
A few moments later.
There it is. So there is the first appearance of Lady Death right down there. And yeah, then the first cover appearance for her is actually one issue later in Evil Ernie #2. But yeah, I'd never had a chance to pick this book up before. I have tried to buy it a couple times, and this one isn't like a super high grade copy or anything. It's got some spine wear and all that. It's probably a 7.5 to an 8. You can see there are spine ticks. They don't come up too well on the camera, but see if I can get them. Yeah, there we go. So you can see there are some spine ticks there, but overall a pretty solid presenting copy of this book, and just felt like it was a good price. Decided to pick this one up. All right, next one. I picked this one up on eBay from an auction. I have tried to buy this book a number of times. It has gotten much more expensive over the last few years. This is definitely the top cover in the run, in my opinion. This is Torchy #4. And this is this is a pretty revealing cover. This is 1950. So this is 73 years ago. A pretty revealing cover for 1950. And also just kind of a fun cover. And yeah, so Torchy #4. I'm not going to take this one out because this one I'm definitely going to get graded, but I want to handle it as little as possible. There are a few flaws to it. I don't know if it'll come through, but there's a crease down here. That's maybe 2.5 inches long, something like that. There's a small crease up here and a small tear here. But overall, a nice copy. I think probably a 5 to a 5.5. But the thing that's interesting with this one is this is a single staple manufacturing error. This book would normally have 2 staples. This one only has 1. And so you want to be careful with it just because obviously if you detach it, you immediately drop this book down to maybe a 3.0. And so just have to be careful handling it. Definitely one that I will be putting a note on when I submit it, because that's the type of thing that if someone that's grading books or whatever is handling it and they're used to this being 2 staples, expecting a staple up here, and they open it and detach the cover, then no fun. But yeah, a very solid presenting copy of this. Also has a cool little date stamp here. And yeah, just a book that I was happy to be able to pick up. I have not had a copy of this one before. And like I said, I think it's the best cover of the run. So Torchy #4. All right, these next 2 picked up from Heritage. First one here, I think this is issue 5. I don't remember offhand. They don't put the issues on the cover. This is Weird Tales of the Future. Pretty sure this is issue number 5. Let's check. This is a low grade copy. I don't have any problems handling this book. There's a ton of tape basically holding this book together. Nope, this is issue number 3. So Weird Tales of the Future #3. Still, I mean, the main art and everything you can see is pretty good, but it has just like, so you can see it, there is a lot of tape on the spine. It's a little more clear on the back. Got this tape on the back holding it together. You've got a piece out of the bottom here. This is a lower grade copy, 1 to a 1.5 probably. Now the interesting thing with this one is that like the cover art is great. The interior art leaves something to be desired. Just give you an example. Like, I mean, here's some of the interior art. I mean, it's like, it's okay, but I don't know. I don't think it's very good. Especially even for the era. Like, there's a lot better interior art at this time. The monsters just aren't all that great. I mean, like, for how like gory and violent this cover is, the interior is kind of meh. But yeah, I mean, most people are buying these books for the cover art. That's really the main draw for something like this, but just sometimes I like to show the interior because sometimes the interior art is incredible. Like on the Torchy issues, the interior art is amazing on those books. And that's from the same era. But the interior art, actually this is a little later, but the interior art on this is not very good. But yeah, you should check out if you ever get copies of Torchy, check out the interior art. It is really good. Then the last one from Heritage, and I've got a bunch of other books still though, so we're not done yet. The last one from Heritage was this one here, which is Crime Mysteries #11. Still got the little Heritage sticker on it. I'll take it out so you can see it a little bit better. This is another one. I did not have a Golden Age Mylar to put it in, and so I just kept it in the Heritage bag. Pretty decent. Oh, sorry, this is Crime Mysteries #10. I have an 11, but this is number 10. Pretty decent copy. It is, you know, from the front cover and everything, it looks pretty good, but the interior, you can tell there's like, I don't know if it was staining or what. You can see it along the top edge there. And so I have this one graded as a 4.5. I expected it to be low. So this was advertised as a 5.5. I did not think it looked like a 5.5, so I was bidding on it like I thought it was a little bit lower grade. So I think it's probably a 4.5, but still a really cool book. You've got the, you know, the werewolf and the vampire, werewolf and the vampire on the cover there. And just kind of like a fun little like kind of comedy type cover. But yeah, this one, these werewolf covers, they're always in demand, and so I'd been trying to pick up a copy of this one for a while, and this felt like a good chance to get one. And so I was happy to pick this copy up. So yeah, that's Crime Mysteries number 10. There you go. Yeah, it's a cool werewolf cover. All right, now the next 3 I picked up from Flip Mode Comics, also on Instagram. First one here, Amazing Spider-Man number 6. It's a low-grade copy, detached cover, probably like a 2.0, 1.8, something like that. But first appearance of the Lizard. I've always liked this cover. I've talked about this one in other videos because like when I was a kid, the book that I had that was like my favorite book in my collection was Amazing Spider-Man number 44, which is the second appearance of the Lizard. And so I had always wanted a number 6. I now I've had a few copies of this since then, but I could never get a number 6 when I was a kid. I've always liked this cover. There's something cool about it. I think maybe it's the pink lettering is real unique. But yeah, ASM number 6, can't go wrong with Silver Age Amazing Spider-Man villains or keys or anything like that. Then the next one here, it's an incomplete copy, but presents really well. This is Tales of Suspense number 52, the first appearance of the Black Widow. This is missing one interior page. So and then the other page on the other side is loose. But there is one interior page that's missing, but I have always liked the look of this cover. There's something, again, about the title up here where it's that purple background with the yellow and the red. It just looks really, really sharp. And you've got her on the cover, which is cool. So yeah, Tales of Suspense number 52, first appearance of the Black Widow. And even though it's an incomplete copy, a nice presenting copy, and was happy to pick this one up. Now, the next one, this was fun. I thought I'd talk about this one a little bit. So what they were doing, Flip Mode, they do this every once in a while with their sales. They, with this book specifically, were doing what's called a reverse auction. And so what they do is they put the book up, and I'll show the book. And this is Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, number 7 and a 9.8. First appearance of Lady Deadpool. And so I picked it up. I thought it was a good price, and this has been kind of a popular book lately. So the thing though, and you'll see here, this is what I won the book for. So Automatic Comics, you know, $205. But what you'll see is what they do is they'll put a price on, and it started at $300. And then it was like after a minute, they would put on another price. It was $271, then $243, and then the final price, when I finally claimed it, was $205. So what you're doing is it's a game of chicken with everyone else that's in that sale. And everybody's trying to keep everyone else from claiming it so that the price will keep going down, because they will keep dropping it. They will keep dropping it until someone claims. But there's always that point when someone breaks. And so it's trying to figure out when that point is going to be so that you can win that book. And so I had decided that was the point when I was going to claim it. And you have to put in the price. So that's why they put in kind of a weird price so that you can't just guess it. And so they put in a weird price, and then when you see it on the screen, it's the first person to claim it. And so yeah, I ended up picking this one up. Deadpool Merc with a Mouth, number 7, and a 9.8, First Lady Deadpool. So I think that's always fun. It's kind of a fun little game that they do. They do some different games and things like that when they do sales occasionally, and so that's one of my favorites. I've won a couple books that way. I won the other one that I've won with that was an Amazing Spider-Man 129, First Punisher, it was like a 6.0 or a 6.5, and I won it for like, it was like $1,000 or $950 or something. It was crazy. We all kept holding off, and because the risk is, you worry that someone's going to join the claim sale and not realize what's going on, and they'll see the price on the book and they'll just claim it, and then they'll win it, and they ruin it for everybody. So it's always a tough game. You never really know how it's going to go, and so those are always fun. All right, now the last thing here, we got this box here that has, like I said, it was 3 or 4 books in it. These are all slabs, all books that I also picked up from Heritage. Now these ones I picked up during one of their, like, I'll call it like a specialty sale. And so Heritage has been doing that more recently with comics. So what it used to be is that you would have their weekly comic auctions, and then you would have their like their big signature auctions that happen once every 3 months or 2.5 months, something like that. And now what they've been doing is they've been throwing in periodically these specialized auctions. And it could be like, they had one that was on, I think, like Valentine's Day, that was all romance and good girl art covers. And then they've had ones where I think it was like all Fox feature syndicate books, and they had ones where it was all fiction house books, and they had a war one where it was all war covers. And this was from their MLJ auction. And MLJ, if you're not familiar with MLJ, that's basically like the precursor to Archie publications. MLJ is where Archie first appeared. That was in Pep Comics number 22. There was no Pep 22 in this sale, but there was a Pep 23 and a Pep, what is it, 26? Because I actually went after the 26, which is the first appearance of Veronica Lodge, and I unfortunately, I thought I had won it. I talked about this in, I think it was my live stream. I thought I had won it like 3 times, and it was like a last second someone threw in a bid, and so I ended up, I gave up. I even went above what I was really wanting to pay, and I still didn't win it. So yeah, congratulations to whoever the other person was that won that, but it was not me. I'm going to get these books out, and then we'll talk about these books.
2,000 years later.
All right, so we got them all out. Let's start with this one first. So it's a low-grade book, but presents well enough, but it is a big key, and it's for a few reasons. So this is Jackpot number 5. Now, this is a key for a few reasons, because one, it is an early appearance of Archie, but it is also the first appearance of Archie's nemesis, Reggie, and the first appearance of Mr. Weatherby. So you've got that going for it. Now, the other thing is that this is a World War II cover. You've got Hitler and Tojo and Mussolini on the cover there, and you've got, you know, this where it's like, you know, U.S. production is rolling over them. What year is this from? It's from 1942. And yeah, so this is a multi-key book. You've got first appearances, you've got, you know, World War II cover content, and yeah, it's a lower grade copy. It's a 2.0, but still an amazing book. Now, I've talked about the Jackpot run in a previous video because it came up when we were talking about Pep Comics 22 and 23, which are considered the first and second appearance of Archie. There was a time when Jackpot 4 was considered the second appearance of Archie, and I had somebody in the comments say they even thought at one point maybe it was the first appearance. But that has been adjusted, where Jackpot 4 is the third appearance of Archie. I don't know what order this would be, because there were probably other Pep Comics between then with this, but so I'll just say it is an early appearance of Archie, but also has these 2, you know, big Archie character first appearances in it. So that's the first one, Jackpot number 5. All right, next, I was talking about Pep Comics, and we have Pep Comics number 4. This is super early Pep Comics. This is 1940. It is tough to get these, you know, into the early 40s, and I mean, especially the 30s, if you can get into the 30s with any type of comic book. But 1940, super early, pretty nice presenting copy too, a 3.5. Let's see, yeah, so there's some tape on the spine. You've got some tape on the top of the spine, a little in the middle, a little on the bottom, but overall a very, very presentable copy of this book. So yeah, Pep Comics number 4, protecting the, you know, the shield, protecting the Capitol there, and yeah, just a cool early superhero slash war cover. There's that one. All right, now these last 2, they really go together. So you've got Shield Wizard number 8, and There's a few things with this one. One, it is also considered a Hitler cover. You've got this picture of Hitler in the back there. You also got this enemy of the shield, I believe it's called the Hun here, that has his big, you know, swastika shield that he's fighting him with. But this cover has a lot going on. You've got the good girl art, kind of like bondage type stuff. You've got the, you know, Nazi World War II cover. You've got the superhero stuff. It's a 3.0. It is a slightly brittle page copy, but when you are talking about books like this that are as rare as these are, I've talked about that. I don't care about the page quality. All that really matters is getting a copy of the book. That is hard enough. And colors, like I've said with these, colors always look really great on these brittle and slightly brittle page copies. It's just something I've seen over and over again. Colors look really nice on this one. And like I said, there's the back cover, and yeah, just really cool World War II book from MLJ with all kinds of just great cover content that you've got going on here. All right, now the last one here. I have bid on this book a number of times in the past too, and I've never won a copy. This one is also slightly brittle pages. It is also a lower grade copy, but this is Shield Wizard number 10. And this is that character, this guy here. He is now dead on the cover, and there, you know, this is him saying that he's going to curse them forever. But yeah, you can really tell it's him, just one, because of the shield, but they've got that scar on his face there, and you can see the scar on his face here. So definitely the same, you know, the same guy that's on the cover there. But Shield Wizard number 10, and just a cool, again, World War II cover. And this one's from 1943, so still right in the middle of World War II. So yeah, there's a lot of books. Hope you stuck with me, you know, throughout this whole thing. Congratulations to the winner of the giveaway. Again, remember to keep watching the channel, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, because I try to do giveaways regularly. Now, one thing, I have stopped putting anything about a free giveaway in the thumbnail or in the description of the video, like in the title, because I've noticed that is what triggers scammers to come on and start trying to get people to give them their information. So I don't do that anymore. So if I'm doing a giveaway, you're gonna find out about it in the video itself. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Saw some cool stuff, some, you know, Bronze Age books all the way up to some really rare Golden Age stuff. So, a lot of fun with this one. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We've got more videos over here. Got the subscription button right here, and I will see you in the next video.